Strontium as a pigment, we find it just in one modern pigment, strontium yellow in our pigment checker modern art. On the other hand, strontium is actually present in many paintings because we find it in chalk and gypsum. Strontium X-ray lines 38, we have the K alpha at 14.1 and the K beta at 15.8. As a baseline to measure the XRF spectrum of strontium, we used the strontium yellow that is in our pigment checker, and the strontium yellow is a strontium chromate. So we have mostly strontium, and indeed the spectrum that we get show a lot of strontium with the K alpha line at over 20,000 counts. Strontium is present just in one pigment. We saw it is strontium yellow, which is a strontium chromate. On the other hand, we find strontium in many paintings because strontium is contained in these two materials, chalk and gypsum. These materials are used to prepare the base, the ground preparation for paintings, and they are made with calcium. Calcium carbonate is a chalk, calcium sulfate is gypsum. Now, if we look at the periodic table, we see that calcium 20 is over here, and just below there is strontium 38. What happens is that the elements that are in the same periodic line, basically they have the same electronic structure externally. They could be replaced one to another. Basically, the idea is that when you have these crystals, minerals of calcium carbonate, calcium sulfate that is formed, a strontium atom can substitute the calcium. So we have a little bit trace amount of strontium in chalk and in gypsum. The actual amount will depend on the geological deposit, the exactly percentage, but for example, if we see the data from the chalk and the gypsum in our pigment checker, we see that our gypsum has a relatively high amount of strontium, is over there, the red one, while chalk in our pigment checker, this sample over here, has a relatively small amount of strontium. But the strontium present is measurable, so generally is always a signal that you get when you are analyzing the ground preparation of a painting, so the white ground.